It's a minion car, banana.
Right, that's enough. I'm playing Portal again. Back to the 2-week Portal phase. Not dissimilar to Minecraft, I find myself drawn to the Portal games every now and then, because it's a great franchise and it's such a unique and well done concept. But this time I needed something more. Something that wasn't a replay of the first or second game. Something that wasn't a mod. So I did what I could. Chambers 0 up until 2 were easy to make, because the portal mechanic isn't controlled by the player. To replace it, I used copper doors. As for the heavy-weighted storage cube, I used a slime ball, an item that would activate pressure plates and isn't placeable. For the emancipation grills, I had no idea how to create a field which was visible, could detect the player, and clear all their items at once. For now, I will use pressure plates near and in the elevator at the end of the level. By the way, if you like this new format of video on the channel, make sure to like and drop the heavyweight slime ball on that subscribe button to support us. As long as people keep watching, I'll keep making the stuff I'm passionate about. Back to the video. This is the part where I have a confession to make. Portal has no portals. At least my version. Too many commands, not enough time or knowledge if I'm honest to do this. When I came to this point, I was annoyed that I completely overlooked the main feature of the game and I had no idea how to implement it. Then I remembered what I did with the cube. I simply replaced a mechanic with something similar that already exists. With this in mind, I chose to give the player an ender pearl instead of a portal gun, and in future tests, instead of being limited by only having one of the 2 portals, they'd be limited by the number of ender pearls they have, in order to solve a test. This means I'd have to take a few creative liberties in each chamber to make it solvable, but still not completely obvious. With Minecraft, parkour is a problem when it comes to creating chambers that can't be skipped with unintended solutions, but sometimes the skip is so small that trying to eradicate it is pointless, as Portal itself had several unintended skips anyway. Later on, I do add a few small invisible walls to prevent skips, but I don't mind allowing a few alternative methods to pass the test. Apologies for any troubles with the horrible footage at points. I will try to edit bad parts out, but unfortunately I had some troubles exporting the recording and accidentally lost footage for another video trying. Enjoy the footage of the next few chambers. I have to go to the wing that was made entirely of glass and pick up 15 acres of broken glass by myself. Energy pellets, the bane of my existence, except not really. You see, in Minecraft's 1.21 Tricky Trials update, there was a new mob added, called the Breeze. When killed, it drops breeze rods, which can be crafted into wind charges. These activate buttons and levers when thrown at a surface, and due to partial blocks such as stairs or slabs, we can activate triggers on the other side of a wall by throwing wind charge at the stairs. I created the energy pellet receptacle as a few stairs all together. I chose purple as it would stand out. By throwing the wind charge, we can open the exit door and solve the test. Another possible way to solve the chamber, as you see, is using the mobility aspect of the wind charge in order to propel yourself onto platforms. This aspect of the item will become increasingly important later on. The introduction to momentum. Remember when I told you the wind charge's mobility aspect would become useful later on? For my remake of the Portal game, it's going to completely replace the idea of flinging between portals, so forget the speedy thing going in, this game just has the flinging out. Fortunately, wind charges are not super easy to use and take some practice. This means the chambers will still have some aspect of challenge, despite no portal flings being needed at all. Normally, this one would be where you get the second portal gun. However, I thought to do a similar thing, I would include each aspect of the game learned by the player so far into this one test, almost as if the player had access to every ability of the portal gun now. This test chamber was particularly difficult to replicate, as the puzzle aspect made it become quite linear, but fortunately, the final product still looks and acts similarly to the original, with the use of an energy pellet needed to complete the room and needing to portal through the exit door. The next couple of chambers aren't very significant, so if you want to see the full playthrough, including chambers 12 through 15, I will upload an unedited one without commentary for you to watch after this. It will have chapters so you can skip to the chamber you wish to see. Turrets. Honestly, when this testing element showed up, I was both lost and terrified. Then, however, I boiled down turrets to the most basic, important functions. These are robots that shoot the player until they are knocked over. To achieve this, I used invisible skeletons, wearing iron armor with a redstone eye armor trim, to replicate the look of a turret. It was the best I could do, to be honest. Since skeletons shoot the player, I already had that function down, and I gave the player strength at the start of the level to easily knock the turrets over. I actually think this test may be the most difficult one, because it takes a lot of patience to conquer. There's another new feature introduced into this chamber, Ratman Dens. Whilst not the most important feature for gameplay, I did want to recreate these dens as well, as they are integral to the portal's style and atmosphere. Despite what GLaDOS may tell you, Chamber 19 was not the final test. It was, however, the first time I gave the player both a lot of wind charges and ender pearls. This is in order to show that the player has full control of where they go next, with all functions of the portal device. The escape sequence was long, and a little tedious to build if I'm honest. However, I am very grateful for how it came out. I think it looks amazing and similar to the original game. I encourage you to watch the full escape sequence in my video playthrough. There is no rocket turret in this game, not in the sense of an enemy. Instead, I used a snowball and had some command blocks outside the map which would cause the spherical rockets to destroy all regular glass and glass panes, as will now be demonstrated. The ending. Pretty significant, right? Well, it might be the most different from the original game. I couldn't figure out a way to replace neurotoxin, the rocket turret, or the cores, so I replaced the baton. I still built GLaDOS, of course. However, all you need to do is climb to the top of the room, collect an ender pearl, and drop it in the incinerator to win. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you're curious, the total time spent on this project was just about a month, including building, recording, and editing. I hope you enjoyed watching this just as much as I loved making it. Feel free to suggest new ideas in the comments and go watch the full playthrough.
Enrichment Center regulations require both hands to be empty before any cake.